Hello, welcome back after an extremely long absence. My sincere apologies, but as you can see, I've changed facilities here. I bought a house, I've moved into a new garage. I had to set that up, do some renos and stuff like that. The garage is still a very much work in progress, but it is kind of coming along. I have most of my parts are organized on that rack in the back there. But yeah, so because I was moving, I had to kind of rapidly disassemble what I could from the motorcycle in order to make it fit and easy to move. And a part of that was I removed the front forks there and the front wheel. I've kind of got things back to about where I was before, but obviously it's not quite as far along. I don't have the wheel on and the wires aren't run at all. Pro tip: if you're going to be putting on the front triple T and forks, don't do it as a whole unit. That's what I kind of did, because I disassembled it as a whole unit just for expediency, and then tried to put it back on, and that was a big pain in the butt. Part of the problem was, putting it on changes the weight distribution of the bike, and as a result, when I put it on, it wants to tilt forward. And as I was wrestling with it, at one point, the center stand kicked back, and I was trying to wrestle the bike there so it didn't fall off its perch there and crash to the ground. What I ended up doing, as you can see, is I kind of rigged my I got a quick little floor jack in there to prop up the front while I was putting that on there. So if you have one of those around or something like that, that can go a long way to just kind of, helping you get things all set up. I spent some time. I hadn't had a lot of time to work on the bike, unfortunately, but I spent some time, you probably can't see it in the light here, trying to clear off the top of the pistons there. As you remember, I never found out whether or not they've been bored out what the oversize is, and there's no markings on it, or there doesn't seem to be that I can see, to indicate. Usually it says like .020 or 040 or STD if it's standard size, but there's no markings whatsoever, so that generally indicates that it is standard size. I did some more measuring with my calipers, which aren't the greatest in the world, but they work. And it does seem to indicate that it's standard size. There's just no getting around that. It's just not big enough to be more than that. Of course, that doesn't necessarily mean that I don't need to bore it out. It just means that I'm currently working with standard size. And unfortunately, the feeler gauges that I have, they're not wire feeler gauges. They're the flat ones, which work well in a lot of situations. But if I'm going to actually check the piston clearance in the cylinder bore, I'm going to need some wire feeler gauges or something like that. So I got to determine that. One of the other things that's holding me up is, I don't know if I mentioned this in previous videos, it was so long ago, I sent my rear wheel, the hub and the whole bit, off to kind of a local classic bike shop to kind of get it, get new spokes, new rim, new rubber, get that all put on, and then I could just pop it onto the bike. Unfortunately, since I was dealing with that shop, it changed owners, and the new owner has no paperwork or recollection or evidence that I ever asked him to do this, which is fine if the work wasn't done, but I left him my rear wheel hub, which is kind of an important part, and he doesn't seem to have it anymore, or he didn't last time I talked to him. So I gotta figure out what I'm going to do about that. I'm kind of up shit creek here. I either need to, now I need to buy a whole complete rear wheel hub and assembly, right, which is substantially more money than just getting the rim, spokes, and rubber put on. So I'm a little bit miffed about that, but there's not much I can do, so I'll have to spend some time trying to figure something out. Maybe I can price out a used one and just replace the parts that I need. But yeah, otherwise I guess, the next things to do, as I pointed out, figure out the bore size, order some piston rings. When I put this back on, I've noticed, maybe I mentioned this previously, I don't recall, I'm missing, I probably can't see it there, there's supposed to be a metal abutment ring that goes in here. And this gap here, even with the abutment ring in there, it's missing. And I don't think it's a crucial part, but the gap here seems to be substantially more than what I would expect. I might just need to tap this down a little bit more, because it's not really fully on there. So I'll spend some time figuring that out, tighten some stuff down. Maybe I just need to jigger the fork a little bit more, but it doesn't quite seem right just yet. I could probably put the front wheel on before I even get the abutment ring, because I can just take this off while keeping the bottom part attached, and it'll be fine. So I can probably put the front wheel back on without too much difficulty, run the existing wires. But yeah, unfortunately my garage is not insulated or heated in any fashion. And it's the first day of spring today. It's nice enough, but it's still a little too chilly in here to be doing work for a substantial period. So I might need to figure out a way to heat it, or just make this sort of a 3 seasons kind of project. But the problem, of course, is in the summertime, I want to be riding my other bike. That's it in the background there. It's just kind of my old, it's an old beat up Honda Shadow. I had some plans to turn into sort of a cafe racer sort of thing, but well, you know, it's do that or work on the Triumph, and it's kind of like the Triumph kind of is winning out. So maybe once I have the Bonneville up and running and reliable, then I can disassemble the Honda and start looking at turning it into something cool. Okay, thanks a lot, and welcome back. Hopefully I'll have more of these videos over the next couple of months. Thanks.